We are pain avoiders, and we do not want to solve the issues, which is what communication is all about, is to be able to openly and honestly talk about the issues and come together to collaborate to find a fair and reasonable solution. We are adverse to conflict and we are adverse to resolution. We will do anything to avoid the pain of being exposed and being held accountable. So we destroy the environment to prevent communication so that nothing can be solved. And there are many ways as women that we destroy the environment to make it safe to have constructive conversations, to make it safe for our husbands to come to us and bring up issues that they're struggling with, that they would like to work together as a team to find a solution to. One of the biggest ways that we destroy the safe environment to be able to have constructive communication as women is that we know exactly how to poke, prod, and push our husbands' buttons to make them react negatively. So we will push and push and push, sometimes with a perfectly calm look on our face, and able to push our husbands over the edge for them to yell, for them to say hurtful things, for them to, slam a fist on the counter. I remember one time many years ago, gosh, how long? It was probably 7 years ago or so now. When I was trying to learn to do this, I just really challenged as a woman with this wiring. But I pushed my husband to get upset, and he threw a glass in the sink and it broke. And I used that as I'm not safe with you. I need to leave now. And we will do that. We know exactly how to get our husbands to react and do things that then we can say they are creating the unsafe environment. They yell, they'll throw something, not even at us, just like my husband threw something in the sink. Very level-headed, good man, not a violent man at all. We'll get them to yell. We'll get them to storm out of the room and slam a door, punch a wall, and then weaponize that against them, that they have created the unsafe environment when we were the instigators, and did that all as a way. It's kind of ironic, right? All as a way to avoid pain, avoid the emotional pain of being exposed and looking at ourselves and avoiding solving the issues. Another way that we create an unsafe environment and weaponize communication to avoid getting to that resolution is we will bring up things from the past. So our husband might come to us and bring up something he'd like to work on. Let's just use budget, and wants to work on our spending and try to get us on a budget. And we'll bring up things from a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. Well, what about when you bought this? And what about when you were spending money on this? And we'll try to weaponize their actions against them to avoid looking at ourselves and avoid what they're trying to talk about and just totally take the conversation off track. Another way we create unsafe environment to have communication is we'll weaponize things our husband has vulnerably shared with us in the past, that they've opened up and shared a fear, or they've opened up and shared a weakness or a shortcoming. And in a conversation, we will pull those things out of our back pocket and weaponize those things against them. Ultimately, in our pain avoidance and not wanting to resolve the issues, all the ways we create an unsafe environment are through our emasculation of our husbands so that they feel unsafe and will either react negatively or shut down. And again, go along to get along, to avoid rocking the boat because of the unsafe environment we have created as women. In this pain avoidance and in our unwillingness to resolve issues, the reason we don't want the issues resolved, the reason we want the issues with a budget or the issues with sex and intimacy or the issues with parenting or the issues with family and in-laws to persist is so that we have something and someone to blame and an excuse of why we're unhappy, why we are miserable in our marriages, and a reason again to play the victim and not have to look at ourselves. That's why we want the problems to persist. So for the men wondering, gosh, she said, we talked about this. She said she would change it. She's not changing it. The reason she's not changing it is she wants the problem there, because it's the perfect excuse to be unhappy and be a victim and blame you or blame the marriage or blame her past or blame her upbringing for why she can't change, because then she doesn't have to look at herself and be accountable. And so men, you want to know, this is how you know you are not the problem. This is how you know you are not the problem, because as a good man, you're pragmatic and you are a problem solver. If it was up to a good man, he could sit down and list out the main issues and problems in the relationship, which is a short list. For us as women, the the list of problems and issues we have with our husband in marriage, again, is probably a Rolodex. But good men have a short list of, if these things were solved, things would be good. And if it was up to them, they would just sit down, have a mature conversation about what the problem is, what some reasonable, fair solutions are. And if as women, we were mature adults and willing to do those things and willing to collaborate with our husbands, the problems would be resolved and we would have a wonderful relationship. So women, I've said this before on other occasions, but we would be wise. We would be very, very, very wise to listen to our husbands, to let them lead, to bring up the issues and let them lead in a fair, reasonable solution, and step up to the plate and hold ourselves accountable and have integrity to follow through and change. And we would have a lovely dance with our husbands and a lovely, lovely, lovely marriage. Hello again. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch today. For those women listening who know you are the problem and want a path forward to take responsibility to change your own inner turmoil and unhappiness, I have a course for women called the Happiness Program, which is the solution to the unhealthy relationship you have with yourself and the issues and challenges that you have in your life and your marriage. You can find the link in the description below to schedule a free consultation with me. And for the good men listening who want a solution to take back the power you have unknowingly given away to your wife, I have a course for you too called the Marriage Rescue Program for Good Men Only, that teaches you how to rebuild your strength and confidence as a good man so that you can navigate the relationship you have with your wife in a healthy, constructive way. Again, you can find the link below in the description to schedule a free consultation with me. Thank you so much, and I look forward to talking with you soon.